The National Youth Day was created by Southern Cameroon. Our first father, John Ngu Foncha, looked into it and said we have to celebrate the youth. They are the future of tomorrow. We have to encourage them. We have to mobilize them. We have to bring them together to build our culture.
Hello and welcome to TFA Analysis. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.
Cameroon, we were still under the federation. Under federation, we could have not been celebrating 1st of October. We could have been celebrating by 11th of February because National Day was transformed or changed into Youth Day by John Ngu Foncha, and they were not celebrating from 1962. They were not celebrating any National Day again. They were celebrating only the Youth Day, and it was celebrated only in Southern Cameroon. Not anywhere. French Cameroon, they were not celebrating it until 11th of February is celebrated all over Cameroon as a National Youth Day. A day dedicated to all young people in Cameroon. And today, TFA Talking Point is here to tell you the origin. Those who created the National Youth Day. The National Youth Day was created by Southern Cameroon. It was created by Southern Cameroon. And that is why we are here today, because Southern Cameroonians have since 2017 have been disturbing and destabilizing the celebration of the National Youth Day, in which it is their inheritance given to them by their first father, John Ngu Foncha, and his government. And we are going to go through it today for us to understand the history and the origin of the National Youth Day in Cameroon. First thing is the aim of the National Youth Day, according to John Ngu Foncha. Youth Day is a national festival aimed at positioning young people with a community building, national pride, and responsible citizenship behavior. That was the main aim of the National Youth Day, created by John Ngu Foncha. The creation of the Youth Day, who created it? John Ngu Foncha, the Prime Minister of West Cameroon, the first Prime Minister of West Cameroon. He created that day to replace their National Day celebration, which was always taking place on the 26th of October every year. And then the main reason why he wanted to replace the National Day with Youth Day is that the population of Southern Cameroon were made up of young people, and John Ngu Foncha wanted them to exercise themselves and then bring out their talent. He wanted to encourage them to be nation builders, and that is why he involved himself in replacing that. Instead for us to be celebrating National Day, in which it is taking a lot of resources, and many people, old people are the one involved. Those who have made it in life, like the military, civil servant, were the one involved. It is better for us to celebrate our young people, our youth, who are the future of tomorrow. And that is the main reason. And then why were they celebrating the 26th of October? Many people have been asking that particular question. Why were they celebrating 26th of October? They were celebrating 26th of October because on the 26th of October, 1954, the British gave Southern Cameroon an autonomous power. That they have an autonomous power that they can create their own House of Assembly, House of Chief, and that is when, and then they can communicate directly, not passing through the eastern region of Nigeria to get to the British, but they can communicate directly to the British High Commissioner, who was based in Lagos. That was the main reason behind it. And all this, when Southern Cameroon reunited with French Cameroon on 1st October 1961. Then there was a little confusion whether they should celebrate 26th of October or 1st of October. But naturally they were supposed to celebrate the 1st of October as their National Day. And then because 26th of October was a partial National Day. But with these little confusions, John Ngu Foncha was not even interested in celebrating the National Day. He was interested in celebrating the young people, the youth. So, West Cameroon leadership under John Ngu Foncha opted to transform the National Day into Youth Day as a tool for nation building and consolidation and greater mobilization of the population, most of whom were youth. That is the main reason. They played it to transform the National Day into Youth Day in order to because the youth are tools to nation buildings. In order to mobilize the population of Southern Cameroon, which is made up of young people, mobilizing them by involving them in activities, as we all understand how youth usually children involved in a lot of activities, in which those activities bring out their talents, and those talents are the ones that they can pursue and follow in order to be better people in future. Maybe through football, you discover that you are a player. You focus on that. Through this one, art and craft, this one, handwork and all the things, dance and this one, people become music and musician and all sort of things. That was the main purpose of John Ngu Foncha. And he did talk with the government and they accepted. In 1962, John Ngu Foncha recommended that it is important to dedicate West Cameroon's National Day to its youth, and it was accepted. And on 26 October 1962, the first Youth and Sports Day was organized in Southern Cameroon, by then West Cameroon, and the march past was done by school children. Children were the one involved, just as we are having the pictures today that 11th February, only youths are involved, students are involved, all schools take part in march past and other things, professional school, vocational training school, and all sort of things that young people are doing. They are always the one involved in it because this was the origin of it. This was the origin of it. How was the date moved to 11th of February? Because the first National Youth Day was celebrated on the 26th of October. 1962. How then was it moved to 11th of February? Why was it moved? That is the question we have to answer now. It was moved from the 26th of October for many reasons. And one of the reasons was the climate. By then, 26th of October is during the rainy season. And most of the things that they usually do during 11th February, National Day, National Youth Day, are sporting activities. And then during this period, they were doing it for 3 days, on the 9th, on the 10th, and on the 11th. And then it involved a lot of activities, dancing, football, all the kind of creative things we were involved in, and rain usually disturb it. Would disturb it during the rainy season. That was in October. So they decided that, okay, 1st of October that they have got reunited with their brother French Cameroon is still in the rainy season. And the 26th of October is still in the rainy season. So what should they do? They check within the dry season and discover that there is only one important date for the people of Southern Cameroon. That is 11th of February, in which they voted to join their brothers in French Cameroon. And that was the only date, so they decided to join on that day. So the condition, the weather condition, contributed to it for them, contributed to 11th of February being the Youth Day celebration in Cameroon. The second point was the exam. November is always characterized by exam. Since children were the one to participate in the march past and all the activities, it would take a lot of their time preparation, and it would disturb their exam in November. So if it is in October, the exam will be disturbed in November. So February is very important. They came back from holidays in January. And then some few weeks after, learning and putting things together, they go into the activities and then go for their exam in April. This was the logic behind it. For the exam in March or April. So the exam for the children also contributed. And most importantly, the date, 11th of February. The history behind it also contributed, was the reason behind the move it from the 26th or deny the 1st of October, the move it to the 26th, to the 11th of February. It was also because of the history behind it. 11th of February is the date they voted to join their brother, French Cameroon, in order to form a federal system. And this also came to answer the question why many people have been asking that why is it that they are not celebrating 1st of October? Know that under the leadership of John Ngu Foncha, he cancelled the issue of National Day. And National Day was replaced with Youth Day. Meaning Youth Day celebration, which is 11th of February, is the National Day celebration for the people of Southern Cameroon. That is one clarification there. John Ngu Foncha, if Southern Cameroon, we were still under the federation, we could have not been celebrating 1st of October. We could have been celebrating by 11th of February because National Day was transformed or changed into Youth Day by John Ngu Foncha, and they were not celebrating from 1962. They were not celebrating any National Day again. They were celebrating only the Youth Day, and it was celebrated only in Southern Cameroon. Not anywhere. French Cameroon, they were not celebrating it until 1966. So the 11th February was therefore celebrated as a Youth Day in Southern Cameroon, West Cameroon only. In 1962, 1963, 1964, and 1965, it was being celebrated only in West Cameroon, that is Southern Cameroon. It was celebrated only there. French Cameroon, they were not celebrating. How then did it become a national issue that French Cameroon became involved in it? Is the question, the last question we are going to answer. During the 1964 Youth Day celebration in Southern Cameroon, East Cameroon were represented. They came, just for example, like if they are celebrating, we take one federal state, a country closer to us, Nigeria. If they are celebrating something in Lagos State, maybe people from Anambra State, the governor in Anambra State can be invited. So that is how it happens. In 1964, the Prime Minister of East Cameroon, that is French Cameroon, Charles Assele, was invited. And some people like the Sultan of Bamu was also invited. They went to Limbe and they saw a lot of activities. It was so beautiful. They came back with a report and gave it to the president, the federal president, who was Amadou Ahidjo. During the 1965 Youth Day celebration, still in Southern Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo, because of the news he got last year, 1964, the previous year, 1964, he decided to send a message to all the youth in Southern Cameroon. And the message was read to all the people, to all the youth in Southern Cameroon, encouraging them. And also, delegation who came from French Cameroon also witnessed and followed up all the activities which were very beautiful and interesting, educative and creative. And so they carried this message to the president. So following a positive technical evaluation by the East Cameroon delegation who came during the 1965 Youth Day in West Cameroon, a celebration, they saw everything, they carried, and a positive evaluation to the president, who was Amadou Ahidjo. And this now encouraged him to plead it with John Ngu Foncha, to negotiate with them, so that the Youth Day should be celebrated all over Cameroon. And that is how it started. And in 1966, the first National Youth Day was celebrated all over Cameroon, including French Cameroon. That was the first year that French Cameroon came in to celebrate their youth also. So this is our inheritance. In 1967, the president of Cameroon, of the Federal Republic of Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo, declared the Youth Day as a national event in 1967 and make it as a tradition that on the eve of that day, he has to give his own speech to encourage the youth to be nation builders, to mobilize them so that they can be creative. And that is why on the eve of every 11th of February, President Paul Biya always sent out a speech encouraging youth, telling them how he will create work and do all sorts of things. But my concern is, what I have, the message I have for everybody is, especially to the Southern Cameroonians, is that a Youth Day celebration is the inheritance of the people of Southern Cameroon. And you do not have to kill your brother, punish your brother, declare lockdown for someone struggling to practice the inheritance left to us by our forefather. It is ours. We have to celebrate it, no matter what. We should be fighting that if French Cameroon are struggling to disturb it in Southern Cameroon because of the Anglophone crisis, we should struggle by all possible means to do it, because it is ours. It was created by us, by our forefather. That is the message I'm having for all Southern Cameroonians. That the National Youth Day is the inheritance of the people of Southern Cameroon. And you do not have to punish your brother. If you know the history and you are truly fighting for the people of Southern Cameroon, you have to fight for the National Youth Day to be celebrated. It has to be. Because those are the things that our forefather, John Ngu Foncha, looked into it and said we have to celebrate the youth. They are the future of tomorrow. We have to encourage them. We have to mobilize them. We have to bring them together to build our culture. And today, we Southern Cameroonians look at it and say it is not ours. It does not concern us. It concerns you people. Because that is the only thing, the only celebration you people can hold on to. It originated from us, Southern Cameroonians. And we are for it. We can decide to change the date. Because 11th of February is a terrible day for the people of Southern Cameroon. We can decide to change the date and celebrate our